Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Volunteers in Action. My name is Ray Henry, and John Dawes is not with us tonight. He's home ill, so I'll say hi, John, and hope you're feeling better. We have with us tonight the Lions Club, and we're happy to have three panelists with us, very knowledgeable about that subject. But prior to that, I'd like to mention that if you have any questions tonight, you can call in at 856-5666, and we'll relay the questions to our panel. In the meantime, if you'd like to write us here at Access 8 at Box 321, Port Jervis, New York, we're glad to receive your mail. If you have anybody you'd like to get on our show, or a club, or someone you'd like to see on the show, please give me a call here at 856-5666. Okie dokie, without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest, not our desk. Our desk is here. And this is Mr. Ted Blair, and he's the past governor of the Lions Club here in New York State. Welcome, Ted.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. And I guess we can introduce our other guests here, if you might want to do the honors.
The pretty ones.
The pretty ones, that's
the
right.
Pretty ones. Janice Monahan, who is Secretary of Orange County Sight and Hearing, and Liz Hultz, who is our District Diabetes Awareness Chairman.
That's great. So we have a couple knowledgeable people along with the past governor, New York State. Now, Ted, maybe you could let the folks know exactly what the Lions Club is and what it involves and does.
Well, the Lions Club are a group of concerned citizens, both male and female. We were one of the first organizations to adopt our program to meet the needs of the ladies, and we do accept ladies in now, and in fact, it's reached a point where they're accepting us now, I think. We are here for community service. Our motto is, we serve. There are approximately 1.25 million lions throughout the world in 40,000 Lions clubs. We were challenged by Helen Keller many years ago to become Knights of the Blind because little was being done for the blind citizens of our world. And great strides have been made through the Lions Club. Our motto is, we serve, and every penny that we raise from the community goes back to the community. We take nothing out for administration. That's done internally through dues. Our fundraisers are community fairs and various things we do. We're having an auction coming up with our club and so forth. But our whole goal is to serve the community and make life better and more tolerable for every person in it.
That's great. That's great. I want to ask Liz over here what she does with the diabetes section of her job.
Well, as you know, Lions have dedicated to helping people with problems with sight, and the leading cause of blindness among adults is diabetes. And so a number of years ago, the Lions decided to have a diabetes awareness program because so many people with diabetes don't know they have the disease. They approximate that there are 14 million Americans with diabetes, yet only 7 million of those people know they have the disease. So a big thrust of our program is to make people aware of the symptoms of diabetes, and if they have them, to go and be tested so that they can be treated. And then the second part of things we do is to make people aware of, if they have diabetes, how they should have their eyes treated and the importance of annual eye exams and with their eyes being dilated. And that's a very important part of our program. And we've combined with the American Diabetes Association and the American Ophthalmology Association to try to make a goal of having all diabetics do this every year.
Well, that's great. Later on, we'll tell some of the symptoms that people should be aware of, and later in the program with diabetes. And in the meantime, we'll go over to Janice, and we'll see what she has to say about the hearing. Isn't it the hearing portion that you're handling?
No, it's a Orange County Sight and Hearing Group.
Sight and Hearing Group, okay.
It's a combination of 20 Lion and Lioness clubs in Orange County.
Okay.
We have a series of equipment that we lend out to clubs. We actually own the equipment, and they have screenings in their neighborhoods. And also we have a 10-day screening for diabetes, blood pressure, hearing tests, and glaucoma at the Orange County Fair every summer. More than 15 years we've been doing it at the fair.
Right, I've seen that. Yeah, I sure have.
Yeah.
So you offer the test, and you also offer different equipment to these people in the nature of Such as what?
You mean the equipment?
Yeah,
Okay, well, we all own it as a group, and then
Right.
the clubs borrow it back and take it to their neighborhoods and do the screenings.
I see. Okay, that's great. That's really great.
Our group also encourages clubs to get the public to sign eye donor cards and driver's license to donate their eyes
Uh-huh.
for cornea transplants. There's such a lack of them available because there's a great waiting list for them.
Right, there sure is. Well, maybe we can get Ted now to expand on some of the programs that you've been working with. We shortly discussed it outside about one of the projects that you're heavily involved in.
Well, one thing that I'd like to add to what Janice just said,
Okay.
for years Lions clubs have done community screenings
Mm-hmm.
where people are invited, and the battery of screenings such as glaucoma and diabetes and so forth are done. In our particular area here in the tri-state area, we're encouraging, especially in the town of Deer Park, any business that would like a screening, we'd be more than happy to come at no charge and set up the equipment, which is available through the association that Janice represents, because these young men are usually the least likely to go to the doctor, and they neglect their own sight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the time, because they've got youth in their favor, and little problems don't bother them as much as an older person who is more than likely, and especially we're looking for the male, and we're not down on females, but
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to have a whole bunch of calls here. in a
no,
minute.
we're looking for the male because in most cases in this age group, the wife has gone through 1 or 2 pregnancies, and she is getting some medical assistance. In other words, the doctors are looking at her, where the husband is rarely ever in a doctor's office or a hospital.
That's correct,
So
yeah.
we're trying to get to these people, and we do offer this service. Lions goes far more above and beyond the scope of medical services also. The members benefit greatly because we have an extensive training program, leadership development, public speaking can, if the person joining the club chooses to go on through the chairs and become an officer, enjoy the privileges and joys of public speaking.
Uh-huh.
And we just don't throw them to the wolves, because we have intensive programs that teach club leaders throughout the state and throughout the world exactly what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We zero in very heavily on needs assessment, so that before, even when a new club is formed, we ask them to go out and find out what the community really needs. Rather than go build a ballpark that no one needs,
True.
let's find out what the real needs are. Maybe someone else has already started building the ballpark, and I'm just using that as an example because many ballparks have been built. As you travel around, you'll see the Lions Park. There is no need that we will not entertain. Any need throughout the community, whether it be medical or recreational. Our premise is that we would like to see every youngster receive the privileges of getting a good education if they cannot see. Lions probably buy more eyeglasses throughout the world than any other organization. A youngster can well be failing school simply because of a sight problem. We also are very concerned with bringing dignity to our senior citizens.
That's great.
Our Lions Club has sponsored 2 senior citizen shuttle buses in the past.
Uh-huh.
We are very concerned that they are the people that have built this world for us, and in their golden years, they should be comfortable. And we do whatever is asked of us. And I would like to say, if there is a need within the community that we are unaware of, please contact us. There's also a club here in Port Jervis. The president is Roger Starzan. There's a club in Greenville. Do you happen to know who the president of the Greenville Club is? I could look it up. Unionville is Jim Hayes. So there's clubs all over the area, and up in the Sullivan County area, we start with Lumberland and go right on up. We have 73 clubs in our district, and
great.
if there is a need in any of those districts, they can contact me or any of the panel here or any of the club presidents, and we certainly would look into anything that we can do to help. Of course, the problem is usually there's more needs than there are people to go around, but
Well,
we
that's
are
true.
certainly would invite anyone who is interested in finding out more about what the Lions are doing to contact one of us. We'd be happy to bring them to a club meeting and let them see what we're all about.
Right, I'm just wondering, I don't think they do, but in the schools today, I don't know whether that they do get screened for juvenile diabetes.
Would
And
you
I
know,
think
Liz?
that was, be one of the main concerns.
With diabetes, screening is really for the adult population.
That's too bad.
The kind of diabetes that children get, you don't screen for.
Oh, you don't?
The type of diabetes that children get has a sudden onset, and it's very obvious. The child will be very ill and would be screened by, the physician would know, and the parents would know right away if the child was sick. Often you'll see a young child who's maybe 10 years of age who will drop a tremendous amount of weight. That's one of the symptoms of young people, and that's very noticeable to a parent. And they have excessive thirst and urination, so that they could, I have seen children who are undiagnosed who can drink 40 glasses of water right in a row.
That's
And
something.
then they spend the rest of the evening, of course, in the bathroom.
Sure.
So it's a very noticeable thing with children, whereas the type of diabetes older people get is very subtle, and they can go many years having it without knowing. So those are the people who are looking to screen. We, of course, want to help diabetic children also,
Sure.
but they don't need screenings. They're pretty obvious. What would be good for the diabetic children in the schools would be to have the education programs for the nurses and teachers so that they know how to deal with the children in school. In a school nearby here recently, a child was sent to the emergency room very inappropriately. And it's difficult enough to live with diabetes, but for the child to go through such a traumatic thing was really unfortunate, and it was because the school nurse really didn't know what to do.
Gee, that's too bad. They should be really led down the golden path too, huh?
Yes, there's a lot of need in terms of education for diabetic children and people who take care of them.
All right, thanks for answering that question. But to get back to what we were talking about, we covered that, and then you had mentioned the Empire school, I guess it was,
Yeah.
for the sound and the hearing impaired, right?
We have 2 state projects that are authorized and recognized by New York State Lions, one of which is the Albany Medical Center, which we have contributed to greatly. This is a program for research, development, and on-hands operations. Dr. Smith and his staff are absolutely unbelievable with what they do. And the second is in Spencer, New York, near Ithaca, which is the Empire State Speech and Hearing. This is almost a one-on-one faculty-student program. It's the only recognized summer program in the United States that we know of that is educational as well as recreational. It's not just a summer camp. The youngsters go there for approximately 12 to 14 weeks, and they continuously undergo recreation, but they are fitted with the hearing aids they need. They are taught the necessary talents that they will have to go through life. And there's just countless stories of miracles that have happened. There is one youngster that was sent there from a neighboring area here, and he was diagnosed as a dummy. And they sent him to Empire because he was failing school. He was about 6 grades behind. And they worked with him. They worked with him for 5 years. And the last anyone heard from him was that he was pursuing a career in the aerospace industry. When the Christy McCauley space capsule went down, he called one of the members of that Lions Club in tears because he just couldn't contain himself, and that was the person he wanted to talk to, but now he's a space engineer. And
Isn't that something?
this youngster was 5 grades behind at the time and known as a dummy, and it turned out he was a brilliant, genius young fellow. So these are the things that can and do happen. But Empire is a wonderful program, and again, we constantly raise money for that association also because it costs a lot of money to have a one-on-one ratio with students.
Right, that's great. We have a couple of films too that Ted's brought along tonight, and the first film was what are they gonna be seeing?
This is going to be an overall view of what the Lions are all about. It's called We Serve, and it'll give you an idea of what we as Lions do in our own communities and in our club meetings, I think.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna cut away shortly to that film when the folks get it ready out there and cue it up. And in the meantime, I want to say if you do have a worthwhile project or a club that you'd like to get here on Access 8 or anything you'd like to go into with us here on Volunteers in Action, please give me a call at 856-5666 or send me a note here at Box 321, Port Jervis, New York. In the meantime, we're going to go out there and go to the videotape and show you this little film. We'll be right back.
A successful organization always begins in the mind and imagination of one person. Melvin Jones was such a person, and the International Association of Lions Clubs is the legacy of his thoughts and dreams. But even Jones would be amazed at how his dream has prospered. Today, there are more than 40,000 Lions Clubs in more than 170 countries and geographic areas worldwide. Individual Lions number nearly 1.5 million, solidifying the association's position as the world's largest service club organization. Largest not only in members, but largest in service to the community as well. For it was service above all that inspired Jones and the other founders of the association. After all, they didn't invent the service club, but they did make a fundamental change in its emphasis. When the association was founded in 1917, existing service club organizations put service below their primary objective, which was to provide a place where business and professional people could make contacts, enhance their economic status, enjoy a little fellowship, and yes, provide some service to the community. It was Jones who realized that some of these same kinds of people would welcome an opportunity to put service first, or as he put it, to start doing something for somebody else. Since 1917, Lions everywhere have continued to put service first, and every one of them can proudly say, "We care. We serve." Over the years, Lions clubs have provided almost every imaginable kind of service to their communities. They have worked with the deaf and those threatened with deafness, sponsored youth camps and youth exchanges, helped make libraries and other educational services more accessible to the handicapped, provided food for the hungry, and promoted peace and international understanding through participation in the Lions International Peace Poster Contest. Many communities throughout the world owe their medical facilities to the generosity and hard work of Lions. Lions have been in the forefront of diabetes education and research, and sponsor the most successful drug education programs worldwide. But sight conservation and work with the blind is perhaps the area for which Lions are best known. That involvement gained great impetus when, at their 1925 convention, Helen Keller challenged them to become Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness. The Lions accepted her challenge and today operate the majority of the world's eye banks, providing tissue for more than 25,000 sight-restoring corneal transplants annually. To provide greater mobility to the blind, Lions support many of the dog guide training centers in the world, and not only invented the now familiar white cane, but continue to supply thousands every year at no charge. Lions have screened millions of people for sight-threatening diseases like glaucoma and collect millions of used eyeglasses for redistribution in developing nations. Numerous eye research centers worldwide benefit from Lions support, as do people in need in developing countries, where Lions have built eye clinics and held camps that every year save the sight of thousands. The Lions' commitment to sight conservation has been reinforced by the establishment of Sight First, the association's international effort to eliminate blindness. Through Sight First, Lions are taking the initiative and doing what must be done to eradicate blindness wherever it exists, enlisting the cooperative efforts of Lions and local health and governmental organizations to develop self-sustaining programs that will continue to provide quality eye care for years to come. For example, Lions in Latin America have established Sight First zones to rid those areas of cataract. And Lions in Indiana and California have established used eyeglass recycling centers to coordinate the collection of eyeglasses for developing countries. Sight First goes above and beyond what is currently being done to eliminate blindness, and with the help of Lions everywhere, it will succeed. The program was launched in 1990, initially funded by a grant from Lions Clubs International Foundation, the funding arm of the association. LCIF also provides millions of dollars in grants annually to help build medical facilities, provide disaster relief, vocational training, and a wide variety of other human services. Supporting all activities are Lions Club-sponsored Leo Clubs and Lioness affiliates. Leo Clubs provide an opportunity for young people to help their communities while learning valuable lessons in leadership. In the same way, Lioness Clubs support the activities of their sponsoring Lions Clubs and carry out distinctive projects of their own. While some of the association's current activities might astonish its founders, they would surely be pleased to see that service still comes first. Underpinning that service is a responsive international organization with the executive officers and board of directors as its guiding force. Experienced at every level of the association, these leaders are elected by club delegates at the annual international convention, where business and education come first, but not at the expense of the fun and fellowship that help to cement the bonds that bring all Lions together, regardless of language or custom. Lions Clubs also elect their district governor, the officer closest to them, a person dedicated to the growth and health of Lionism in the district. Supporting these officers and every member of the association is the international headquarters staff. They assist the board of directors in designing and perfecting programs and activities, and in making certain that the association operates in an efficient and economical manner. Located in Oak Brook, Illinois, USA, they are ready every day to meet the demands of a thriving membership. The quality that holds the association together is as old as Lionism itself. That quality is fellowship. It was part of Melvin Jones' dream, indeed, the essential part, since he realized that with it, all of his dreams of service would be possible. It is a fellowship that begins at the club level, but reaches out to all Lions everywhere. It believes in the dignity of the individual, but recognizes that together, Lions can accomplish much more than would be possible alone. It is based upon the association's objects and ethics, which guide the Lion not only in relationships with other Lions, but in the family, the community, and his or her business or profession. It promotes regular attendance at club meetings, where the member learns valuable lessons of organization, cooperation, and leadership. It encourages friendship and is nurtured by laughter and enjoyment. Above all, it makes a member look beyond personal concerns, to look at the needs of fellow Lions, the community, and to a world increasingly in need. It has helped to make Lions Clubs International not only the largest, but the most active community service organization in the world. It has ensured that Lions everywhere will continue to care, will continue to serve.
Okay, we're back, and my name is Ray Henry. We're back here with Ted, Liz, and Janice here tonight as our panel. I want to repeat, if you have any questions for our panel and the Lions Club here, please contact us here at 856-5666, and we'll be glad to answer your questions if we can. Okay, Ted, do you want to give our viewers maybe a little synopsis on
Yeah, being new to
legacy?
this TV program, I handed the tapes into the engineer and I handed them in the wrong order. So I
Okay.
said early on that the tape that they were going to see was an overall view of community service. That was an overall view of the founding of Lions and Melvin Jones and so forth. So I didn't want them to think that they were
Okay.
seeing something they shouldn't have been. But
That'll be on the next clip.
the next clip will be more community service.
Okay, that'll be great. Well, we're going to go over to Liz and want to find some of the projects that she's involved with the diabetes in her club also. Liz?
Well, first I'll speak about my club. I belong to the
Okay.
Town of Minisink Club, which is just the other side of the mountain here. And we have two things currently. We just had our walkathon to raise money for our annual scholarship fund. The scholarship we give out to 2 high school seniors is really based on service than on their academic career. We ask them to submit a letter telling us about their service, and then based on the service they've done to the community, we award 2 scholarships each year. Then tomorrow, on Saturday, we're going to have our annual Halloween parade, and we usually entertain about 100 children, and we have games and prizes and all sorts of fun activities for the children, which is a wonderful service, and it has grown each year, and we really enjoy doing that, and it's a great service for our community. Right now, that's what our club is doing. In terms of diabetes awareness, what I'm trying to do district-wide, not only with my club, but district-wide, is to promote the awareness of diabetes alert quiz that was put together by the American Diabetes Association. And what it is a series of questions that people are asked, and then they score their answers. Based on that score, they will know whether or not they should pursue that by going to the doctor and being tested for diabetes. It's a very good screening device. It doesn't cost very much, and it's very accurate. So many people are helped by this. So we're trying to get as many clubs as we can to distribute these diabetes alert quizzes, which I'm sending out to all of the clubs in our district over the next 2 months, so
Let me
that they
stop
should
you
have
right there for a moment only. Yeah, we won't lose this thought on that, but we talked about diabetes alert quizzes. And people out there who might have children or might have a possibility, they think they might have diabetes. What do you say we go through a part of the quiz? Would you have part of that with you or not?
I have the quiz right here, and I
Okay.
could read the questions, and people could score themselves right now.
Okay, I think that would be a good thing. Let's do that.
Okay. If you can quickly get a pencil and
Paper.
paper, that would really help, but I'll go slowly so you have time to pick that up. The first question involves symptoms, and when you answer yes or no to these symptoms. The first one asks if you have excessive thirst, okay? The next one is frequent urination. The next one is extreme fatigue. The next one is unexplained weight loss. The next one is blurry vision from time to time. Then it asks you, are you over 40 years of age? Some of us have reached that golden time in our lives. That is a risk factor. If your weight is equal to or above that listed in the chart, I can't give you the chart below, but if you think you're more than 20% above your ideal weight, then you should give yourself a yes for that. The next one is for women. If you are a woman who has had a baby over 9 pounds, that's a yes or a no answer. So if you've had a baby over 9 pounds. The next one is, are you a Native American? That is a descent from a Native American. The next question is, are you Hispanic or black? The next question is, I have a parent with diabetes. That's because diabetes tends to run in families. And the last one is, I have a brother or a sister with diabetes. Okay. If you answered the yeses or nos, I'll go back and give you the points.
Maybe we could do it once more.
Okay, as I go
Real
through
quick.
again, I'll give you the points. Excessive thirst would be 30 points. Frequent urination would be 30 points. Extreme fatigue would be 10 points. Unexplained weight loss is 30 points. Blurry vision from time to